bioidentical hormone replacement. It's received a ton of attention in recent years. It promises the natural solution to hormone issues, and we're going to go through this because it's important. What exactly is BHRT, or bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and how is it different from the other traditional hormones, the so-called bad hormones or the horse hormones? Is it really natural? Is bioidentical hormone therapy really natural? Well, bioidentical hormones technically were the first used in menopausal symptom relief. In the 1930s, there was a Canadian researcher, James Collip, and he developed a method to extract an orally active estrogen from the urine of pregnant women. So you could take it by mouth, it was extracted from a human, a woman, and marketed as an active agent. It was called Emmenin. And that product was, of course, bioidentical, exactly what's in the human body because it came from humans. It was replaced on the market when its manufacturer, which was Ayerst at the time, began producing the more easily manufactured conjugated equine estrogens, and that was, as I mentioned, 1941. And that was the brand name, which you're going to know, Premarin. As the name implies, it came from a pregnant mare, a horse. P-R-E for pregnant, marin, so mare, the horse, Premarin. And in 1992, Premarin was, listen to this, the most widely prescribed drug in the United States. Okay, the most widely prescribed drug. In 2000, 46 million prescriptions were written for Premarin, conjugated equine estrogens. And that made it the second most frequently prescribed drug in the United States. You know what the number one was, incidentally? Well, if you watch my channel, you probably know it was a statin for cholesterol. Another very controversial product, and you know my feelings about it. Let's just say I'm not on them. But that's for another time. And many of you are on statins to lower your cholesterol. Then came the Women's Health Initiative study. And we could do a whole video on this, but that was 2002. What happened in that is it showed the risks of hormone replacement therapy. And that was particularly for heart attacks, stroke, and for breast cancer. And it scared people. Prescriptions dropped by 70%, and billions of dollars, of course, were lost. Incidentally, you know, when Viagra came to market, I think this is interesting because I look at Big Pharma, I look at the drug companies, I find it interesting to know the temporal aspect or the time frame. It was 1998, and I can remember vividly women coming in very upset that I gave their partner a prescription for Viagra because they were cruising along very happy, and all of a sudden the guys were like, okay, I'm ready to go. They had a newfound vigor, and that rocked the market in 98. I don't want to get too aside here, but this is all interesting stuff. Viagra, of course, was first researched in the early 90s, I believe it was, as a blood pressure medication, and the side effect of that was it improved blood flow to other areas of the body, okay? And then they go, wow, it didn't work as a blood pressure medication, but it worked great for erectile dysfunction. And so all these people that had that problem in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all of a sudden were active again. They weren't before. And a lot of women, I can remember being upset. I'm just sharing my experience with you here. But it's interesting that Viagra comes in 98 and hormone replacement gets taken away in 2002. Crazy stuff to think about. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. But that's what happened, and that's why, as we'll talk about, those hormones, the non-bioidentical, or some people call them synthetic, which is a bit of a wrong nomenclature, but the synthetic ones fell out of favor because of that initiative study that came out in 2002. Now, as with all great moves in the industry, when one door closes, another one opens. Along comes bioidentical hormone replacement therapy after the synthetics were thought to be bad because of that study. So really, bioidenticals filled a vacuum. And anytime that happens, you want to be a bit suspicious. Everyone turned to plant-based because they're safer. And there was, I should mention, a problem because the horses, to obtain the urine, were often the horses for Premarin were not kept in the best manner. And so there was horse abuse allegations, and people were enraged by this. A lot of it did incidentally come from Canada. Since that, they've changed some of the practices, but one of the viewers said in the comments, if I'm going to talk about this, make sure I mention that to people. But that is a real deal. But the bioidenticals come now from plants, and that was 2002 to 2006. And you'll remember 2006, 2007, Suzanne Summers had that great book, Ageless. I love Suzanne. I typically see her every year at the A4M, the Anti-Aging Conference in Vegas in December, and I love her. You just hang out with her and just her soul. Love her. And she had the book Ageless, and that helped so many women, like many of her talk shows did as well. But that shaped many women's ideas of the bioidentical and the plant-based hormones. An explanation is needed here. You see, traditional hormone replacement therapy, as we'll call it, was not referred to as bioidentical hormone replacement therapy because the plant-based ones, they're chemically altered, but they're from plants. They are estrogens from soy and yam sources, but they're absolutely identical to human hormones in the chemical structure, whereas the equine ones weren't. The equines are a mixture of 50 different estrogens. The plant-based are fully identical. This is one of the key features of proponents for these bioidentical plant-based hormones that people are on now. Says a big difference from the equine ones or the horse ones is that they will hit the receptor and the body identically like one's own hormones. And I said there's estrogens, there's progesterones, and there's testosterones. All of these can come from the plant-based sources as well. So they're all what people say are natural. But are they really natural? Okay, so we have the horse-based, then we have the plant-based. Think about it. Technically speaking, the only true natural hormones of the human body are those produced by the human. When the term natural hormone is used, it's referring to the fact that these hormones were first extracted from a natural source like the plants. However, please note this. Despite the term natural, both synthetic and bioidentical hormones are modified or manufactured, we'll say, in a lab, leading many to feel misled by that term natural with the bioidenticals. And that's where so much of the confusion comes. People hear plant-based, they love plants, and they think natural. However, think of it in this way. Would it make sense to simply pick up a yam, which is one of the major sources of this natural estrogen? It's called a phytoestrogen for plant-based, and eat that yam and expect to restore your estrogen levels? Maybe not. Absolutely not. The dosage matters, and having the ability to extract a hormone, measure a set amount, and accurately supplement your hormonal deficiencies is essential. Now, this extraction, measurement, and packaging can only be performed in a safe, clean lab. The hormones are produced as precise duplicates of hormones, estrogen, say estradiol, estriol, which is estrogen 1, 2, or even 3, progesterone. But listen, they're chemically synthesized. They have to be. There has to be a method to get them from the plants. They're chemically synthesized by extracting diosgenin, which comes from the plant, such as the yams or the soys. Diosgenin is then chemically modified in the lab to yield the precursor progesterone, which is then used to synthesize bioidentical estrogens. So don't be misled by the fact that they're all natural. There has to be a chemical process to concentrate it. Now, this chemical process is one used for many different drugs that we take or that people take. So it's not some special process, but understand there is a chemical extraction that has to be done. So if you liked that short clip, watch my complete YouTube video by clicking here on bioidentical hormones, or click down here to watch my complete playlist on things you can do like microneedling and chemical peels at home. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.